what motivated you to enter the field of healthcare outreach, insurance, and economic at such a young age?
Then I looked around, I did some research, and I saw millions of people who are eligible for these different insurance schemes. They don't know that it exists. Looking at this, I started my work initially going door to door getting beneficiaries. So we were able to get around 2,000 families to sign up for this insurance program. And every time I see one of these families, for me, it feels like I'm helping someone like him.
What has been the biggest challenges you have been faced in this journey?
The biggest challenge I feel is to gain a sense of trust, form relationships with the people that you're servicing, because even though you're trying to help them, naturally for any human it would be difficult to trust somebody who has just come up in their life trying to help, because that's just not how nice the world is these days. I think one of my biggest helping factors in this was my parents. They've always been my backbone in terms of supporting any projects that I want to do, all of this volunteering work that I'm really passionate about.
What's the one defining lesson which you learned from Dhirubai International School, which you always carry along with yourself? Hello everyone, welcome to IHW Podcast, a show where health meets responsibility. I am Samiksha Singh, your host for today's podcast, and today we have a very special guest with us, a 17-year-old 12th grade student who is a founder himself. Welcome to the IHW Podcast, Rachit.
Thank you.
Yeah, so hope you're enjoying the event as well.
Yes.
So Rachit, my first question for you, what motivated you to enter the field of healthcare outreach, insurance, and economic at such a young age?
So the reason or the entry point into this field for me is something that's a bit personal. One of my chess coaches from a small village in Uttar Pradesh, he was very close to my heart, and when I was around 12 years old, I had already been training with him for 4 or 5 years, and suddenly when by the time I was 16, 1 month before my board exams, I found out that he had passed because of blood cancer. And the incident was reported to me actually quite late because my parents didn't want it to affect my preparation. But when I found out the reason, it was blood cancer. And the reason we lost him was because of we didn't have early testing or early treatment, because of the fact that now there was lack of information. He didn't know about insurance. And he was not a regular at the checkup because it was too expensive naturally, right? Because these aren't people who are earning tons of money. So it's not very easy for them to find solutions or check carefully. And then I looked around, I did some research, and I saw millions of people who are eligible for these different insurance schemes or different struggles, but like they have a lot of struggles, but they're not able to get the right treatment. Not even because there's no option, it's because there is an option, but they don't know that it exists. And looking at this, I started my work initially in volunteering at screening shops where they would get the initial treatment and diagnosis for free. For example, I had the privilege of working with the Reliance outreach team where they did the free screenings. And then because of these schemes that existed, like the Pradhan Mantri Jan Aarogya Yojana, I did some more research and I started going door to door getting beneficiaries. So we were able to get around 2,000 families to sign up for this insurance program. And every time I see one of these families, for me, it feels like I'm helping someone like him. Yeah.
So I think you get a lot of exposure in such a young age. So what has been the biggest challenges you have been faced in this journey, and how did you overcome it?
So I'm a student of Dhirubai Ambani International School in Mumbai, and the one basic challenge that I can think of is simply balancing this project, which is I'd say as fruitful and as and it requires the same amount of effort as a full-time job. So putting in the hours here, as well as balancing school, sport, because I'm involved in a lot of sports like football and chess, and as well as that, along with this, I also have leadership roles in school. But yeah, so balancing all of this has been a simple challenge in terms of personal challenge for me. But in terms of the project itself, the biggest challenge I feel is to gain a sense of trust and form relationships with the people that you're servicing, because even though you're trying to help them, naturally, for any human, it would be difficult to trust somebody who has just come up in their life trying to help, because that's just not how nice the world is these days. And I think my one of my biggest helping factors in this was my parents, because they've always been my backbone in terms of supporting the balance between academics, um, any projects that I want to do, all of this volunteering work that I'm really passionate about, or my sport, and they're very supportive of that. In fact, right after this event, tomorrow itself, I'm going to Jaipur for a national level football tournament. Um, and they've been more than happy supporting me with that. And in terms of building trust and a relationship with the people that we're helping, I've learned this from my mentor, Dr. Swati Jha, who's been guiding me throughout this process, because she is the director of the RFH outreach program itself. She's just taught me that the only way to build a relationship with them is to listen first and speak later. When you listen to somebody, you listen to their problems. And it's not just about one day. The first day may not be they would not open up as much to you about their needs or their requirements, or open to your help at all. But when you continuously show up week after week, that relationship automatically gets built on itself, and that's just human nature. We tend to trust people depending on the efforts they show for us. And it's just about showing those efforts, because it's something that we genuinely want to do as an outreach camp.
So, Rachit, who have been your biggest leadership motivation, and how they have actually shaped your vision?
So, in my home every day, I see two really successful people, my mom and my dad, who aren't successful just in terms of the post they're in. When I say success, I mean they're successful in balancing family life with their work life, and at the same time doing good for this doing good for the society. They have active roles in volunteering programs, or in social service, and that it really came from them. And on a wider scale, from a leadership perspective, in terms of having a vision like I do about scaling the accessibility to healthcare in India. As I said before, I'm a student of Dhirubai Ambani International School, and on a larger scale, my role model would be Srimati Nita Ambani ji, or as we in school call her, Nita ma'am, because by setting up the school, she has truly embodied the school slogan, which is "Dare to Dream and Learn to Excel." Because she building a school which empowers younger minds, me and many others, uh, to speak out, have a vision, and show the fruit that such a wide vision can have if you put in the hours and the efforts to make your vision a reality.
So, what's the one defining lesson which you learned from the Dhirubai International School, which you always carry along with yourself?
So, the one lesson that the school has taught me is to always combine ambition with compassion. And it taught me that success is not something that you accomplish for yourself. Success is something that makes you more valuable in society as a whole, and helping those around you, because um, there is there is no such success that can be accomplished without benefiting somebody else. Whether it's in business, whether it's in the healthcare space, financial services, anything. At the end of the day, it's either the customer, or the person you're trying to support, or the country you're trying to support. It's all about balancing what you have to do for yourself, and at the same time doing something meaningful for the community, so that your efforts, they're fruitful not just for you but for everybody around you. And this is the lesson that I carry with myself every day, because since a young age I've been taught. I was in the football team since I was 9 years old, in the chess team since I was 8 years old. I've been in this school that prioritizes academic excellence, and at the same time is really happy when we go to events like this, spreading awareness about sustainable development, and finding solutions to larger problems in the world. In this case, I've chosen health insurance because it was personal to me, and this entry point that I had through the Reliance Outreach Program has been one of the most fortunate experiences for a person like me to have at this age.
Okay. And what's your one take home message for the viewers, and especially for the youngster who are at your a young age, since you have achieved so far? So, what's your one take home message which you'd like to give?
I would just like to re-emphasize on my school quote: dare to dream and learn to excel, because the young minds of Dhirubai Ambani International School are being shaped by these words, and we'll find parodies or different ways of saying this, but the idea is simply to not limit your vision. People say that you can only accomplish so much, um, but so you should manage your expectations accordingly. There's a phrase that uh, if the when in Hindi there's a phrase ki चादर अगर लंबी है तो फिर सपने रखो, पर अगर चादर लंबी है तो पैर को ढक लो. So the idea is that it's not about having a small limit. It's about increasing the limit and then putting in the effort to work behind it.
Yeah, I think that's all. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.